Okay, good morning, dear students. Today I will discuss about the thermoelectric modules and the MHD converter. This is the part of Unit 1, and the subject name is the Power Plant Engineering. Semester is 7th. Thermoelectric energy. This is the based on the SEEBECK effect. SEEBECK effect, according to SEEBECK effect, when the two ends of a loop of the two dissimilar material are maintained at the different temperature, an electromotive force is developed and the current flows. तो जब दो सिमिलर मेटल्स को अपन लोग लेते हैं और उनके डिफरेंट पोल्स को यदि आप अटैच करते हैं तो वहां पे इलेक्ट्रिक मोटिव फोर्स जनरेट होता है और करंट फ्लो होता है. दिस इज कॉल्ड द सीबैक इफेक्ट. और इसी सीबैक इफेक्ट के बेस पे थर्मोइलेक्ट्रिक एनर्जी जनरेट होती है. The effectiveness of this power generation that is increased by selecting suitable material. The main advantage of this method is very low initial cost and the negligible maintenance cost. तो ये इसकी जो इनिशियल कॉस्ट है बहुत कम होती है और जो मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट है, चूंकि मटेरियल आपका बहुत महंगा नहीं रहता या उसको मेंटेन करने के लिए हमें बहुत एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं रहती है, तो नेग्लिजिबल मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट रहती है. The magnitude of EMF, that is the E, produced by this process is proportional to the temperature difference between of the two junction. जो EMF produce होता है by this process, it is the proportional to the temperature difference between of the two junction. Two junctions में temperature difference के कारण होता है, and the capital E is equal to alpha TB minus of TC. So TB, that is the temperature of hot junction, and the temperature of TC is called the cold junction. This is the main formula for the energy generated. So this is the main diagram theme where the all the things are the clear. This is the pictorial diagram. This is the actual diagram where the all the things are the clear. So heat absorbed is here from the cold junction side, and the heat rejected from the hot junction. This is the main fundamental. P type and the N type junction are created. Current will be flowing after when the two dissimilar material are joining at their ends. तो जब दो सिमिलर मटेरियल्स के जंक्शंस को ज्वाइन किया जाता है तो करंट फ्लो होना स्टार्ट होता है ड्यू टू द इलेक्ट्रिक मैग्नेटिक फोर्स. तो whenever the heat is supplying from the some external sources side, there will be a chances of generating of the current due to the electromotive force generated. So here it is the heat ejected from the P type and the N type of the junctions. This is the cold junction, and the hot junction where the heat will be provided from the external sources. So there is a diagram where the all the things are the clear, where the heat supply are so from the external sources are provided, and where the heat is ejected from the cold junction sides. Thermoelectric power generation, it is a device that converts the heat energy into the electrical energy based on the SEEBECK effect already discussed in the previous slide. SEEBECK effect refers to a class of phenomena in which a temperature difference create an electrical potential, and whenever current passes through a circuit of two dissimilar material conductor, depending on the current direction, either heat is absorbed or released at a junction of the two conductors. This is known as the Peltier effect. तो पेल्टियर इफेक्ट इज डजंट मीनिंग कि करंट जब भी पास किया जाता है दो सिमिलर मटेरियल के कंडक्टर के सर्किट्स पे, तो वो करंट के डायरेक्शन पे डिपेंड करता है कितनी हीट वहां पे एब्जॉर्ब हो रही है या रिलीज हो रही है एट द जंक्शन ऑफ द टू कंडक्टर. उन कंडक्टर के जंक्शंस के पे कितनी हीट आपकी एब्जॉर्ब या रिलीज हो रही है, इसे हम पेल्टियर इफेक्ट बोलते हैं. इन द प्योर मेटेलिक कंडक्टर्स, आउटर इलेक्ट्रॉन that is less connected to the others can move freely around all the material as if though do not belong to any atoms. These electrons transmit energy one to another through the temperature variation, and this energy intensity varies depending on the nature of the material. So depending on the type of material, which type of material are selected, atoms and the electrons emitted the energies. If the two distinct materials are the placed in the contact, the free electron will be transferred from the more loaded material to the other, so that equate themselves. Such transference create a potential difference called a contact potential. जैसे कि हम contact potential के नाम से भी जानते हैं यदि दो सिमिलर मटेरियल के जो जंक्शन पॉइंट है उनको यदि कनेक्ट करते हैं, since the result will be a pole negatively charged by the received electrons and another positively charged by the loss of the electron. SEEBECK effect. When the junction of the two different metals are the maintained at a different temperature, the EMF is produced in the circuit. This is known as the Seebeck effect. The material A is maintained at the T plus delta T. The material B is maintained at a temperature T. Since the junctions are the maintained at a different temperature, the EMF V flows across the circuit. So there is a chances when the material A is maintained at a T plus delta T temperature, the material B is maintained at a temperature T. Since the junctions are the maintained at a different temperature, the EMF will flow across the circuit. So this is the diagram where all these things are the clear. Hot junction and the cold junction, two dissimilar materials where they are connected by the different ends. The metal A is describing in a red form, and the metal B is describing from the blue color. So voltage will be created after the electromagnetic force generated. So this is another picture view diagram where the P type and the N type of the junctions are the describing in the figure, and the hot side and the cold side is also creating or the representing in the diagram. So hot side, that is from the top side where the heat is supplying from the external sources, and cold side where the heat is rejected to the surrounding side or the another end where the electromagnetic force will be generated. This is the hot junction. This is the top mode side. N type of the thermoelectric material, P type of the thermoelectric material. Heat will be flow from the top to bottom side. Electrode which is supplying here from the this direction. Cold junction is maintained at the bottom side. Current is flowing on the top and sides after the producing of the electromagnetic forces. Another thing is the MHD, short form MHD, and the full form, that is a magneto-hydrodynamic generator. That is a device that work on the principle of the Faraday law of the electromagnetic induction. The Faraday law is already studied in the childhood classes. And the Faraday law state that when the conductor, that is a solid, liquid, or the gases, it may be of depending on the applications, moves through a magnetic field, it generates an electric field perpendicular to the magnetic field and the direction of the conductor. So there will be chances when the conductor where will be moved in the magnetic field, in the direction of magnetic field, it will be generate electric field which is the perpendicular to the magnetic field and the direction of the conductor. This is called the Faraday law. In MHD, the conductor is an ionized gas which is passed at a high velocity through a powerful magnetic field. A current is generated and can be extracted by the placing electrode in a suitable position in the stream. In the MHD generator, the conductor is ionized gas which is passed at a high velocity through some external sources through a powerful magnetic field. This is the Faraday law where the current is passing through, and the direction where the current is passing through, it is the perpendicular of the direction of the forces. The current where the flowing from the conductor side, it is the perpendicular of the direction of force, and the magnetic field which is describing is here producing after the electromagnetic force, and the direction of current is passing through from left hand side to north hand sides. So there it is the north and the south pole are the maintained two dissimilar materials are passing through this current. MHD generator, this is the pictorial diagram in which the DC voltage output is maintained in the plus and the minus sign because of the electrode of the dissimilar materials. Ionized gas plasma is producing from the sides. The magnetic field which is producing, this is the direction is given, and the motion of conductor which is represented by the orangey color. Motion of the conductor, this is the plasma current which is the passing through the sides, and the EMF will be generated and reduced voltage electric current, it is on this sides. So it will be of the perpendicular to the motion of the conductor because of the current is passing through the opposite of the direction of the conductor. Hot gases conductor, this is the south and the north pole, and the voltage of current output current is maintained at another side. This is the principle, the MHD power generation process that is governed by the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. When the conductor, solid, liquid, oblique gas passes through a magnetic field, it introduces EMF perpendicular to the magnetic field and the direction of the conductor. This is the main fundamental about the MHD power generation process. So this is the main fundamental where all the things are the clear. In the MHD, the flow of the conducting plasma through a magnetic field at a high velocity causes a voltage to be generated across the electrodes perpendicular to both the plasma flow and the magnetic field according to the Fleming's right-hand rules. This is the main fundamental where all the things are clear. The intersection are there on the right hand side and the accelerating zone through the divergent nozzle, convergent divergent nozzle, and the current is passing through on this electrodes by the external sources. There will be solenoids of the sections where will be created where the current is passing through these sections through the attaching of the two dissimilar material junctions, and the output is created on the another sides. This is the main fundamental about the MHD generator. What is the construction of the MHD generator? That is shown in figure in the previous slide. It is a consist of the fuel supply system, which is the combustion chamber, expansion system, and the MHD generator. The electrodes are the placed parallel and opposite to each other. That is shown in the previous figure. It is made to operate at a very high temperature without the moving parts. Because of the high temperature, the non-conducting walls of the channel must be constructed. MHD generator construction, that generally in the generator, the conductor consists of the copper windings or the strips, while in an MHD generator, the hot ionized gas or the conducting fluid replaces the same. So fuel is supplying in from the left hand side. Here it is producing, describing by the summation sources, passing through the combustion chamber where it is the working, and the combustion chamber air is supplying from the compressor side from the sides. Air is supplying from this side, compressor side, and the fuel is supplying from the left hand side. Some external sources passes through the combustion chamber where the fuel and air meets, and ionized gas generator will be producing the, after the expansion nozzle there will be a current or the gases. This is the MHD generator working. Gases will be passes through the heat exchanger where it will be cooled by the some external sources. It is done by the air using as a coolant for cooling of the gases, which is passing through the these devices. And after that, this gas is going to the atmosphere. And this MHD generator creating the DC power after producing of the gases and passes through the nozzle, which is produces a high velocity of the gases through this device. This is the open cycle using the conventional fuel. This is the MHD generator and the open cycle type of the generator. What is the working? It is a generation of electric power utilizing the high temperature conducting plasma. It is a stream of high temperature working fluid passing through an intense magnetic field. It converts the thermal energy extracted from fuel directly into the electrical energy. The fuel is burned in the presence of compressed air in the combustion chamber, and during the combustion, shading materials are added. Various methods for ionizing the gas are available, all of which depending on the imparting sufficient energy to the gas. The ionizations can be produced by the thermal or the nuclear means. The materials such as the potassium carbonate or the cesiums are often added in the small amounts, typically about 1% of the total mass flow to the increase the ionizations and improve the conductivity, particularly combustion of the gas, plasma. These are the main fundamental. Magnetic field, a current is generated and it can be extracted by the placing electrodes in a suitable stream. This is the open loop MHD of the magnetic generation device. The fuel is supplying from the side, the preheated fuel, and it will be of presence of the preheated air, which is the mix up with the fuel in the combustion chamber, and the producing of the gases after the combustion of fuel and air mixing at the around of temperature of 1500 degrees centigrade, and it will be passes through a nozzle where the high velocity of the gases which is going into the MHD duct, and this is the duct, and where the all the DC power is converted into going into the inverter side, which is produces the MHD duct, and this gases where it is going to the preheater side and the second seed recovery unit where it is recovered from this devices, and after the pollution control unit, this is the main theme where the all the pollution will be escaping through the stack into the atmosphere. And this inverter, it is using for the converting of the DC power into the AC power. The oxygen will be supplied from the atmospheric side into the preheater section. This preheater section, it is a device which is using the heat of the exhaust gases passing through the MHD duct, and the heated of the air which is supplying into the combustion chamber in the presence of the fuel system. This is a closed loop where the stack gases or the which is passing through in an open loop case. It is where the reuse again and again. So that's why it is called a closed loop MHD type of the generator. Fuel is supplying from the external sources. The combustion chamber, it is a combustion chamber. This is the device where the mixing of the fuel and the air taking place, and the nozzle section where the gases will be passes through the nozzle. This is called a gas nozzle, and this gas nozzle creating the converting of the pressure energy of the gas into the kinetic energy, and after the kinetic energy gaining of the kinetic energy in the nozzle, it will passes through the magnet and the electrode which is supplied from the this inverter side, and the converting of this current DC supply into the AC power, and the gases which is passing through the air preheater using the heat of hot gases and heating of the air. It is taking place in the air preheater, and the air is supplied to the combustion chamber after the gaining of heat, and the steam generator where it will be used for the generation of the electricity through the consumption of the steam which is passing through the sites. Because of the generator is a device where it will be used for the generation of the steam, and the generation of steam will be passed through this turbine device, and after that when the turbine is acting as a prime mover, and the electricity will be generated through the generator devices, and the condenser is unit for the cooling of this section after the expansion of turbine, after the expansion of the steam in the steam turbine, which is passes through the condenser side, which is for the cooling purpose. And after that steam generator, it will be passes through the seed recovery where it will be recovered by the another devices called a seed recovery, and the removal of the nitrogen and the sulfide. This is the before passing through the atmosphere, it will be removed. So that's why the clean area or the clean gases will be passing through the atmosphere because of the ozone layer depletion cases. The makeup seed that it will be produced in their sides and passing through the combustion chamber way. So this is the today lectures. Thank you.